Hi, I'm Abby and I work here at the Defiance Public Library in the Children's Department. Right now, I'm going to show you some of our new juvenile nonfiction titles which you can check out with your library card.
This month, we are going to go over new books about Earth and animals. So hang on and let's get started. Let's start off with Hello Earth, Poems to Our Planet, written by Joyce Sidman and illustrated by Murren, Assi, and Laura, and published by Erdman's Books for Young Readers. This book gives a beautiful tribute to all of Earth's wonders. It starts off with poems about how big Earth is and finishes with how we will honor it because it is our home. It goes through the different continents, the moon and stars, the people and things that live in it, and all the things that make up the planet that we live on. A perfect book that shows all the beautiful things that make up Earth. The next book is also about Earth, but it's more about the kids who are doing something important for it. It's called Old Enough to Save the Planet, being inspired by real-life children taking action against climate change. Written by Lowell Kirby and illustrated by Adelina Lirius, published by Magic Cat Publishing. This book goes over several young children who are helping to save the planet. You'll learn about children who live in different places around the world that want change. So they took the initiative and are making it happen. You'll learn about two girls who are trying to educate people about single-use plastics and how we can use other alternatives. In France, a boy is learning about organic farming to help eliminate waste. He has included the community and is helping to educate them about farming and food production. In South Africa, a child is helping to protect endangered animals. This book is definitely inspiring and has some great pictures as well. Another great book that discusses kids helping the earth is The Last Straw, Kids vs. Plastics, written by Susan Hood, illustrated by Christy Ann Engel, and published by Harper. Did you know that Americans ingest microplastic particles when they eat food? This book discusses the impact of littering and how it affects everything around the world. It shows parts of the ocean that are swirling with garbage and how that affects the fish ecosystem. It also discusses how some plastic is good, but that we should reuse it. It talks about kids around the world who are trying to come up with different ways to help the earth. One activist collected bottle caps and made benches for her school. Another child made a rooftop solar heater from plastic items, then in turn creates power to heat water for showers. Some wonderful inventions are being made. Make sure to check out this book to see wonderful ideas, pictures, and poems about the planet. Speaking of great pictures, the next book definitely has a lot of beautiful pictures to look at. You'll go underwater in the book Beneath the Waves, celebrating the ocean through pictures, poems, and stories, written by Stephanie Warren Drimmer and published by National Geographic. This book goes through everything ocean related. Want to learn more about shrimp or dolphins? It's covered. How about seabirds or seagrass? Also covered. Take a journey through some incredible places in the ocean and the world. Also, as the title says, you'll learn about different animals through stories from people or through poems people have written from experiences they have had with the ocean. Take a look at things like polar bears, whales, crocodiles, stilt fishing, maps, red tides, and so much more. Speaking of crocodiles, let's take a look at a book that talks about reptiles. Reptiles Everywhere, written by Camilla de la Bedoyer and illustrated by Britta Tekentrop, published by Big Picture Press. Did you know that some of the smallest reptiles are the size of a thumbnail and that some of the largest are more than 30 feet long? That's crazy, right? In this book, you'll learn about different reptiles like the iguana, the tortoise, and even snakes. It will go over things like where they live, what they eat, and how they survive. It also goes over reptiles that unfortunately did not survive and are now extinct. Some of those include dinosaurs. The book also has some fun activities where you have to find different pictures of animals that are hiding. Lastly, it will go over parenting skills of reptiles and the difference between ones that lay eggs and ones that don't. Definitely take a look at this book. Animals have parents, right? What do you think they do? In the book, The Best Mommies and Daddies, written by Raina Olivier and Corral Claus, illustrated by Steffi Padmos, and published by Clavis Publishing. Animals show how they are parents to their young. You'll get to read about animals like the penguin, the fox, and my absolute favorite, the flamingo. The mommy orangutan has a huge part of its baby's life and will stay with it for 8 years. How cool is that? The daddy penguin also has a big job of keeping the baby penguins warm. The book shows how both the mommies and daddies of the animal world work together to keep their young alive and happy. The book includes things like the weight of the animal, enemies of the animal, and the speed of the animal. Very interesting book with lots of facts and great pictures. Another new book about amazing creatures is Masters of Disguise, Camouflaging Creatures and Magnificent Mimics, written and illustrated by Mark Martin and published by Candlewick Studio. This book goes over 12 animals that have the ability to hide themselves from other creatures. It goes over why this is important for the animal and what advantages the animal has because of this ability. The gaboon viper has a head that's shaped like a leaf, and the orchid mantis looks just like a flower. These are just some of the animals that this book mentions. Look through beautiful pictures of animals and see what creatures you can find. The book also has some seek and find activities, so test your skills and see if you can find the camouflaging animals.
Those are the highlights for the Juvenile Nonfiction this month. We have lots more to check out. You can do this by visiting us at defiancelibrary.org or by visiting us in person. Hope to hear from you soon.